Hello, this is Yaakov Kronenberg from Jerusalem, and tonight we'll be starting a new series of classes on Virgo ascendant and Mercury and the different signs. Tonight we're going to do an introduction and tell you a little about, first of all, a person born with the ascendant of Virgo is under the influence, he or she, they're under the influence of Mercury. And most of their life is going to be connected with mercurial interests. Right? It's a very intellectual sign. They love to read books. Mercury is all things intellectual. Mercury is it's the scribe of the king. It writes things down. It's very good for business. It's very good for mathematics. All sorts of intellectual pursuits, and they go about things in a very intellectual type of way. The Virgo ascendant. The Virgo ascendant, also the Gemini ascendant, also very similar in that they're both mercurial ascendants. Just that the difference is Gemini is more theoretical type, while the Virgo is more the Virgo is more an earthy type. Virgo is an earth sign, so there's much more practical type of intellect. It's a much more practical type of intellect, very down to earth, very good at all different, like practical things, very good mechanically, even with the good Mercury in Virgo. It makes the person very good at reasoning, very good at problem solving, all sorts of things like that. The Virgo, that's talking a little about from the side of Mercury, the ruling planet. From the side of Virgo itself, like we said, Virgo is very earthy, and it's connected with, it's a mutable sign. So it tends to go in multiple directions at the same time. It doesn't, so that tends to weaken it a little, because all the mental signs, they think too much. So it's sometimes it holds them back in acting because of their mutability, because of their seeing all the different sides of a thing until they can come to which direction to go. It holds them back a little. Virgo is interesting that the planet Mercury in a Virgo ascendant, Gemini will be on the 10th house cusp. So the first house and the 10th house will be ruled by the same sign, Mercury. So it makes where the Mercury is in the horoscope very, very important, because it's ruling the two major points of the horoscope, the individual himself and his destiny. And when the person has the 1 and 10 in the same sign, it means they feel like they can change their destiny, that they have control over their destiny. And so the Virgos, they really, even though it's not the strongest of the signs, they have this feeling that their destiny is in their hands, and they make or break themselves. And sometimes because of this, they can always have a problem connected with, let's say, lack of faith. Sometimes if the Virgo's got a problem, a lot of times it can be the lack of faith, because they think everything is in their hands, that they control their future, and so it can cause problems. The Mercury, on the other, Mercury rules the nervous system. So if the Mercury, say a person's got Virgo rising, earthy, and the Mercury is harmed, say by Saturn or Mars, or something like that, it can make the person very, very nervous conditions, right? If the Mercury is the ruling planet and it's and the Mercury is in any way harmed, so it can cause different types of nervous conditions, a lot of anxiety sometimes, too much stress, too much worry. Right, one of the problems of Virgo are the warriors of the zodiac. They tend to worry about everything, so it can harm the health. Right, worry is a thing that can harm the health, and so the Virgo is naturally connected to the 6th house, the house of ill health. So you get a lot of Virgo risings that have health problems because of their worrying, and you get a lot of Virgos they're going off into medicine to help people, right? Because Virgo is the sign of service. It's connected with serving people, helping people. And because Virgo is connected with the sixth house, the house of servitude, they in a certain way, the Virgos want to help other people because they feel themselves as servants. They don't feel themselves like a Leo. Leo feels like he's the king. The Virgos, they feel like they're servants. They're here in this world to help other people. And it's because they have this like servant type of mentality, especially say if you get the ruler, you get Virgo with say Aquarius, Mercury in Aquarius in the sixth house, so there'll be double the Virgo, the sixth house aspects, and so the person will be very sort of wanting to serve people, helping people. A lot of people with this aspect, with a strong Virgo, they go off into government service or into medicine because that's where you help people. These are a lot of the fields of helping. And so that's from the side of the sixth house. The sixth house is connected with, like we said, ill health, and it's connected with medicine, and it's connected with government service, and it's connected with actually the workplace of the person. It's connected with pets, animals that the person owns. You can find them also from the sixth house. So a lot of Virgos tend to like to have pets. And what else can we say about Virgo? So it's connected with like we said, it's an earth sign, very practical. It's mutable by nature. It's connected with the sixth house, the house of ill health. It's connected with Mercury. Mercury, the ruling planet, rules all things mental. A person has a very computer-like approach to life. They put everything in the computer, and what the computer says to do, they do. There's not influence of a Virgo person. You're not going to influence them so much by emotions, right? And Cancer rising with the moon ruling planet, or Venus, Libra or Taurus, with Venus sign, Venus in a water sign. Then you can influence them in emotional ways. Mercury, you got to influence like more intellectually. They're not influenced so much by Mercury as by emotional arguments, right? Because they do everything more according to a computer-like approach, a mental approach, and you have to convince them of things that what you want to do is the right way to do it, and it is going to be successful. And so we said that, and so we'll see. Mercury works the best in Virgo and Gemini. We talked about that. And it's Mercury doesn't really have an exaltation. Mercury, sometimes we say it's exalted in Virgo. And Mercury doesn't work as well, say, maybe in Pisces. It's in detriment. Because again, it's too emotional, right? If you get the Mercury in Pisces, you can appeal to their emotional side. They even though they can be really smart, even geniuses, a lot of Mercuries in Pisces think they're geniuses, and a lot of times they're right. But it's still they're very influenced by emotion. A lot of times their emotions will overcome their mind. Say if you got Mercury in Pisces, or a Mercury in Gemini, a Mercury in Sagittarius. It's also Sagittarius is too high up for more. It's more let's say synthesis than the analytical nature of Mercury. The Sagittarian is much more synthesizing things, and so it makes Mercury a little bit hard there also. And so I think we covered a lot of the basics of Mercury, with Virgo rising with Mercury. And starting next week, we'll go through the different places where Mercury is and analyze them. looking at charts also of famous people, and I thank everybody for listening.